Time now for everyone's third favorite segment of the week. It is time.
And now it's time to open up your ears and your minds, MMA fans.
Yes.
It's time for Rick's Picks.
Rick's Picks.
Rick's Picks are lots of fun, and his hair is in a bun, cause it's, you already know what it is.
Rick's Picks.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the moment you've all been waiting for.
Yes.
It's the new craze taking the world by storm. Live from the Vox Studios in beautiful New York City, it's time for
Rick's Picks.
I mean, come on. Here he is. I just got a tweet from Dan Hooker.
What do you got?
I just found out the Wi-Fi shit because the room's bomb-proof.
Oh. Well, at least there's a justification, right?
I mean, the room was cool to begin with. Now it's probably cooler. My question is, why is it bomb-proof?
I mean, do we want answers to that question anyway?
Yes, I'm going to write back. Okay, now the room is even cooler than I thought. The question is...
Read out everything you're typing.
Why is it bomb-proof? Just for the audio listeners, you know? How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Cheers.
For what? What are we cheersing for?
We're having some soup. This is my soup time.
Oh, yeah.
When you and GC come on, soup time.
All right. I'm not gonna try and spit take you again this week.
You do look very much like Scott Hall right now. I don't know if you know this.
I was gonna save it. Let's get into this. I was gonna save it, but I would be remiss. Look, the ponytail is here, right? We see it.
Mm-hmm.
See it. I would be remiss if we didn't at least say a word about Scott Hall,
Legend.
aka Razor Ramon. I want to get this right, so I want to say this correctly. On life support after heart attacks following hip surgery.
Correct.
Per longtime tag team partner Kevin Nash, family is planning to discontinue life support. Now that's per Kevin Nash. Again, the details are still kind of coming out as we go. But yeah, tragic situation. Wrestling fan, MMA fan, pop culture fan, whatever you are, I'm sure you have heard of or seen Scott Hall / Razor Ramon at some point. A staple of wrestling in the 90s, let's say. And yeah, a very unfortunate, tragic situation unfolding.
You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. That was legendary stuff. He was Razor Ramon, and then he came over to WCW as Scott Hall with Kevin Nash as the Outsiders, and they were playing this. It was like this gimmick where they were coming from WWE to take over WCW, and they kept teasing that there was a third man. Who's the third man? Who's the third man? Who's the third man? And then all of a sudden, Bash at the Beach, I think 97, if I'm correct, maybe 96. And then Hogan comes out and everyone thinks it's Hogan defending WCW. And then he turns on WCW and he hits the leg drop. And then he takes the microphone from Mean Gene and he says, "You are looking at the new world." And he actually said organization. He messed it up initially, but then he corrected himself. The new world order of wrestling, brother. And it changed wrestling forever. But as Razor Ramon, they used to do those vignettes of him like walking around town on the beach, Chico, the bad guy. The music was amazing. He would come out like that. I mean, he was just...
He oozed charisma, right? Like, I can't even claim to have been like a huge wrestling fan in that era. And even I kind of knew about him just because of the swag and
he oozed machismo. He always used to say that machismo was amazing.
For sure.
And a guy, by the way, who has unfortunately had some downs after pro wrestling.
Sure.
Actually, I mean, even towards the end, and has overcome and down and overcome, down and overcome, and hoping that, he kind of was able to find some peace. Horrible. This happens too often in wrestling.
To steal a line from him, bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
The original bad guy, with all due respect to Chael P, he was the original bad guy.
I'm sure there's been some borrowing, right, from Chael, from the original bad guy, the innovator.
I just actually saw this tweet.
What do we got?
401 from Dave Meltzer. Scott Hall was taken off life support 4 hours ago. He is still alive at this writing. Miracles have happened, but this would need to be one of them.
Yeah.
Let's go, Scotty.
Yeah. Sending our wishes to the family. Okay. It's hard to
transition.
transition
This
to,
is why
to
you're the
lighter
pro that you
material
are.
out of this. Let's talk. How about we start with? Wow, I sounded very New York when I said that. Let's talk.
Let's talk TAWK.
Let's talk. How about John Lineker? You were just talking about him with Cheeto Vera. Let's talk John Lineker.
Cheeto not willing to give him any props.
Yeah, I mean, rough. Not willing to get there, and accusations thrown.
Cheeto quickly rising atop my rankings of favorite guests.
All timer.
Yeah.
He's one of those, and there's been a few of these over the years that
He just
we've
keeps it
talked
real.
about this that I've talked about in the past. Tyron Woodley is one of them.
Right.
There's some that I kind of gravitate toward, not because they're about to say one quote or one thing outlandish that's going to be the one that gets the headline, not because they're the biggest star at the time, but just kind of keep it real. Cheeto Vera keeps it very real, and he's one of those that has transcended into that category.
Hooker too. When his
Hooker.
Wi-Fi is working properly.
When he's not in the bomb shelter.
Right.
But yes, Cheeto keeps it real. But let's give, on the other side of the coin, let's give some props and some credit and some respect to John Lineker.
Yes.
One of the most exciting fighters on the planet. I don't think I'm going out on too far of a limb to be able to say that. You know what you kind of get with John Lineker. He is going to wade in there and he is going to throw hooks at your body and your head, which is a very fan-friendly fighting style, let's call it. And not only was he able to put on an exciting fight, but he's able to capture one championship gold. So congratulations to John Lineker for becoming a champion in a very busy weekend of combat sports. That one might have flown a little bit under the radar, but congrats to John Lineker.
Insane card, by the way. I think the last 9 fights were finishes.
Yeah, and
including
we saw
your boy, Gary Tonin, unfortunately, going for the belt.
Came up short. Look, it looked like, let's call it what it is. It looked like he was deep on that leg lock. It looked like if he had a little more time and Tonley was a little less prepared, he would have been able to finish that. He finishes that against most fighters, but this is not BJJ. And he was exposed, and I don't mean exposed as in like he wasn't good and he got exposed. I mean literally in the fight itself, he was exposed to the strikes. And put himself in that position by attempting the leg lock. So I'm sure he'll be back. I'm sure he'll learn from it. But congratulations to Ton Lee, who put on a fantastic performance.
Ton Lee, a guy with a great backstory as well.
Yeah.
Trains out of, I believe, Louisiana with Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, that's right.
A Contender Series guy that they passed up on.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I get, look, the bar, the threshold for Contender Series has never made much sense to me. It feels kind of arbitrary week to week, even season to season. But an exciting style fighter, somebody that you would think you'd want to have on the roster.
Yes.
So I don't quite understand that one, but again, we've seen this before where they've passed on people who put on a great.
I feel like they passed a lot more in the early days and not so much. Like now
100%.
everyone gets in. Like Brendan Loughnane. Brendan Loughnane has that same fight today. He probably gets in. No.
Absolutely. In fact, Algio, who was his opponent, has gotten in since and lost. The bar has been lowered. The shift toward Contender Series fighters filling out the bottom end of UFC cards has been in full effect. And so, there are a lot of people who had fought previously who look like Kevin Holland didn't make it, and he won a fight. Now there was, he wasn't highly regarded by Dana White because he was talking a little bit too much, and then he got the opportunity to fight Thiago Santos, called Big Mouth famously. But yeah, there's tons of talent that was passed on earlier seasons that now would have easily cleared that threshold.
Oh yeah,
for sure. But congrats to John Lineker and congrats to Ton Lee. Tom Brady for. Is Rick's pick this week for?
Are you kidding me?
The most MMA retirement that wasn't actually an MMA fighter. So congratulations to Tom Brady for achieving that. That was a very special level.
This is
MMA
trolling
retirement.
right here.
No.
Give me a break with this Tom Brady nonsense. I mean, come on. First of all, you know what's the funny thing about it?
Get it off your chest.
Schefter and Darlington report that he's retired. Then it's like, no, he's not retired. Could you imagine, by the way, if he would have stuck to the not retired, that would have been the biggest egg on their faces of all time.
Sure.
But yes, he comes out with the retirement. It's like an 8-page swipe. It's like a way too long, but it's an 8-page swipe just about the Bucks, which is bizarre in its own right. No mention of the Pats. Gets
You
called
love this
out.
detail of it, by the way.
It's like he's one of those classic, like he's one of the good guys, but he ain't. He ain't one of the good guys. He's an actual cheater. All of a sudden, we just want.
Joe's losing his mind back here.
Listen,
Joe's losing his mind.
Are we just going to forget about the whole Deflategate nonsense? Are we forgetting about spying on the other teams? Are we forgetting about just discarding somehow his cell phone with all the evidence on it? He ain't one of the good guys, all right? I'm sorry. He ain't one of the good
Joe
guys.
On camera right now.
Yeah, come on camera. I have no problem. He's an absolute cheater, and I can't believe
paging Mike Heck. Can we get?
I can't believe Patriots fans defend this guy the way they do. Oh, he's surely going to write something about us. It's coming in the next tweet. It was never coming. It was a half-ass quote retweet afterwards just to be like, oh yeah, guys, thanks for all the memories too. I mean, you only supported me more than any other city has ever supported an athlete for 20 years. And oh yeah, I'm going to give you a half-ass quote RT. Then he goes away. Then literally like a day after the retirement, already the rumors start that he's coming back. Like, the guy hasn't even retired for 24 hours and there's rumors that he's coming back. He hasn't even like done anything close to a retirement, probably didn't even file the paperwork, whatever that paperwork may be. He's coming back. Now I have to listen to 3 more weeks of him. He's going to fulfill a dream. He's going to go play for the Niners. He's going to play for the Niners. Wow, it's such a great story. He's going to screw Jimmy Garoppolo out of another job. All right, that's going to happen. Then he flies to Manchester and we're like, oh yeah, he's meeting with the Glazers to get out of the contract because he's such a good guy. He took a pay cut, blah, blah, blah. And then we get by the way, we get a Sunday afternoon tweet saying that he's back. By the way, stealing the thunder of a real Boston legend, the big ticket himself, Kevin Garnett, in the midst of his retirement ceremony. You noticed that, right?
The reunion with Ray, everything.
Yeah.
Took the shine away.
I mean, that should have been the moment of the night, right?
Yeah.
Should it not have been the moment of the night? That was a real Boston story. The big 3, they finally got the Celtics on top. I was cheering up. Yes.
That shit buried.
Allen's first time back. All 3 of them are hugging. Big ticket, one of my all-time favorites when he was on the Timberwolves. Didn't like him so much on the Celtics, but not the point. He gets his jersey retired. You had to do it then, Tom? You couldn't have waited till Monday morning when nothing's going on? When everyone, like, why did you have to do it Sunday night? Who announces news like that on a Sunday night? I'll tell you who. An egomaniac. I'll tell you who. A cheater. I'll tell you who. Someone who deflates balls. And why is that important? Because it's easier to catch them. You bunch of marks.
I think it's about the throwing, but
no, it's easier to catch them. Oh yeah, you get better grip, you catch it. Listen, I can't wait. I pray to God that he goes back to the Bucks because there's still some people who believe that he's going to go to the Niners. By the way, they still think that this is the thing.
Not how to play, right?
And I can guarantee you this: Patriots fans are just dying for him to go over there and save that sorry sack franchise. We all know what happened back in January in Orchard Park. We don't need to bring it up, but I pray to God that they're still standing in February. Josh Allen's going to ram that football down his throat once and for all, and it'll be done. Thank you for coming back. You know what? I want to thank Tom Brady for coming back because the dream was over of us, capital US, going in there and beating the Tom Brady-led Bucks in the Super Bowl. Thank you for doing this so that we finally get to realize that dream. So I'm actually happy about this. For the record.
What I mean, just tremendous. You really brought it for
Screw
that
guy.
Thank you for that
guy. And by the way,
And for all those reasons, though, you can admit that this is the most MMA retirement ever, yes? Like, this is MMA retirement to a
It's
T.
actually worse. No one does it, like, after 3 weeks? Who does it after 3 weeks?
I mean, we've seen less.
Yeah.
Chris Curtis retired twice in one night. I mean, it is the prototypical.
He got,
MMA
I mean, the
retirement.
poor guy. Let us not say Chris Curtis's name in the same breath as Tom Brady.
He's a legend for it. Wow.
One's a winner, one's a loser. All right? I have no problem saying. Yeah.
Tom Brady,
Chris
not
Curtis.
a winner. Tom Brady, not a winner.
Winner, Tom Brady, loser.
Oh, wow.
Capital L.
This is special. I must say, this is a special.
And by the way, you would think I would love Tom Brady. Tom Brady, former draft pick of the Montreal Expos.
Yeah, but his
he spurned us.
Patriots, yes.
He turned his back on us the same way he turned his back on the great city of Boston, who I have a lot of love and admiration for. And the same way he's going to try to finagle his way out of Tampa.
You have a lot of love and admiration.
I do.
You just buried them and talked about how the Bills are going to put them in the grave.
Well, I mean, that's the franchise. The actual city is a lovely place to visit.
Okay, got it.
I enjoy visiting the city.
Everybody there and their sports teams, but the city itself.
I mean,
good.
I've had great memories in Boston, road trips and whatnot.
Yeah.
I just don't like, I will be honest, I don't like any of their teams. Don't like the Red Sox, don't like the Bruins, don't like the Celtics.
Fair
don't
enough.
Like the Patriots.
Fair enough.
I mean, they're kind of the rivals of all of my favorite teams in any event. No love for Tom Brady, and I think that was a whack move. By the way, why? Like, how much could have possibly changed? Do you dislike your family that much that you needed to, I mean,
go here, huh?
I mean,
say.
Listen, Ryan Clark said it first. Okay, got like 50,000 retweets. So blame RC, blame Real Casual.
Oh God, are we? You know what? I'm just gonna let you go. I might just
blame that dude.
Let you just riff,
Mr. Sensitivity.
Oh boy,
he's gonna come after me now.
All right, now I'm gonna
low key threaten me.
I'm gonna go away from this. I'm gonna take this back here.
All right, sorry. You can't bring up Tom Brady at this hour and not trigger me. Okay.
Maybe I knew what I was doing. Maybe I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk. How about what could be a retirement? What could be a move away from the UFC? We don't know yet, but I think I want to carve out a little bit of space to give some much deserved credit and kudos to Marlon Moraes. A guy who spent some of his better years in WSOF and then came over to the UFC and looked like he was, bound for a title. In fact, fought Henry Cejudo in that title fight. Came up short, but not for lack of effort. If anybody less tough than Henry Cejudo was in that fight, that's probably a world championship wrapped around Marlon's waist. Now on a skid, I don't think he won that Jose Aldo fight. Jose Aldo fight. Why am I saying Jose all of a sudden? That Jose Aldo fight, which would make it 6 straight losses if you do that. On the downside, clearly, I think the skills are still there, but the defensive prowess is not, and he can't seem to withstand the attacks of his opponents. But deserves some time in the sun. I think if people are only tuning in now, they're not going to know how good Marlon Moraes was in his prime, both offensively and defensively. One of the real implementers of those leg kicks that are now so famous. Really stuck to that, and another WSOF stablemate, Justin Gaethje, as well. But at that time, one of the most devastating leg kickers. So shout out to Marlon Moraes. Took off his gloves in the cage. We now don't know what that means. Obviously, he didn't get a chance to speak. We don't know if that's retirement. We don't know if that's just feeling like frustration or feeling like he's on his way out. But I think Marlon Moraes is somebody who did a lot of good in the world of MMA and was a very high level fighter. Who hasn't been able to show it recently. So shout out to that guy.
Legend.
A legit juggernaut in his prime.
True good guy.
And a good dude. Yeah, I think that's
Great
important
dude.
to note as well.
Fortunately, haven't talked to him in a bit, but love him dearly.
Yeah.
And had a great run. I was talking to GC about this. This is probably the time of the day when he was freaking out about potentially losing his animation and wasn't listening to me at all. However, he had an amazing run and then left Mark Henry in New Jersey and moved to Florida. Now, sometimes these things are coincidental, right? It can coincide, but there is a clear line of when he was with Henry and the success that he had, and when he left Henry and the lack of success that he unfortunately suffered from.
For sure. I mean, I'm gonna hope and say, hopefully more coincidence than that. And look, if that's what it was, and sometimes this happens, go back and see if you can have some success. If I had to guess, do you think Marlon Moraes is done? My guess is no. My guess is we see him elsewhere.
Well, did you saw him on the broadcast, right? He was taking off his gloves.
Off the gloves, yeah.
But he never said anything.
He didn't say what that meant. And we've seen fighters in
well, they didn't ask him on the broadcast. He could have.
He didn't get that moment. Yeah.
He didn't get that moment. It's interesting because I was watching, to this point, to a degree, I was watching.
By the way, just quickly.
Yeah.
I want to let you have that. But, Molly McCann took off her gloves in the cage once, and it was just a tribute to her father. Like, this happens. We don't know what that means. But
it's a fair point. No. It's a very fair point. Khalil Roundtree in his post-fight press conference.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you call those press conferences. I guess
Scrums, press conference. Yeah.
He was talking about how it upsets him that the losing fighter doesn't get to go back and talk. And I think that's a really interesting point. Now, there are times when someone severely hurt, concussed, whatever. They shouldn't probably talk, right? But I actually think that the media, like I always say, like some of the, I don't want to say best, but some of the most fascinating interviews that I've ever had have been with losing fighters, right?
Sure.
It's just a whole different perspective. I would say, like for myself, like I'm actually hesitant and I don't want to say afraid, but like I don't want to bother someone. Like I don't actually think it's the media saying we don't want to talk to you because you lost. I actually think for the most part we don't want to bother you because you lost.
Yeah.
So I think that I think the media deserves a break on that one. But in a case of Marlon, I wonder if he would have said, if he was retiring, like, hey, can I go talk so I can say this to people, because he didn't get an opportunity to do that. It was very clear. He's like right in the shot when he was taking him off.
Yep.
So yeah.
I'm sure we will find out, obviously. We will know what's next, that Marlon will come out. But I understand the perspective that you're saying. Like, often these are the better interviews, but not everybody wants to do that in their lowest moment, right? Not everybody wants to have that microphone in their face and say something. So I think it's probably on the fighter to potentially bring that to light, right? Like if Marlon felt like I need to say something, he can make that clear, and I think that has happened. I also think the stakes of it, right, in the main event, that's kind of a different story than a fight lower on the card. But yeah, certainly, I would want to know. I certainly do now on this Monday want to know what he was taking the gloves off for. Was it frustration? Was it actually a sign of something else? But I am sure we will find eventually. But either way, I think Marlon Moraes, a guy who in his prime was one of the best, deserves some recognition.
By the way, what about last night when I texted you, hey, is Khalil on Instagram? And you said no. Well, that means we were both blocked. Well, you probably looked at MMA fighting.
Yeah.
Did you check as yourself?
I did not. MMA fighting is what I was logged into.
Crazy. Is that a new thing where everyone, because like I heard that there was a thing on Twitter where you can like mass block people. Someone told me that Gina Carano did that because I was all sad that she blocked me. But
I guess you could
apparently you can block people who are like connected to something, like you.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. You could block people who are like either not following you or you're not following, and like groups like that, I imagine. But yeah, I mean, and he came on and explained it. I'm like you. I'm surprised, and I think maybe this was part of the context I was thinking. I was surprised then he would be coming on to the show.
Yeah.
If that was the case, right? Like if you are blocked, typically your beefs take a little bit more massaging to get people to come on the show. As we've seen in some recent runs, right? Like it wasn't one DM to Bobby Green and all of a sudden he was on the show.
Right. No, this was fairly easy.
But yes, blocked.
Still blocked, by the way.
All of us blocked. Yeah, same. I have a feeling that one's not going to be lifted. I have a feeling that one's going to stand. Look, and it seemed, I will say, the justification that he provided on the show seemed less personal and more for his own habits. It was not necessarily like I don't want you to know what's going on with me. More, I don't want to see what's going on with you from that perspective, like the MMA sphere. And that's well within his right, I think it's that type of thing, though.
I still got love for him. I'm not going to take it personally.
I mean, great interview on the show today, right?
Yeah, he's the man. He is the man. And by the way, all that other stuff aside, that was a tremendous win. Only one I got right on Saturday. And that kick was amazing. And his reaction to Conor tweeting about him was super cool, because some people, now it's cool to hate on Conor.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like he was like genuinely taken aback.
Yeah. It meant something to him that Conor McGregor was talking about him. When Khalil Roundtree is engaged and firing on all cylinders and letting his attacks fly, that dude's a problem. That dude is a problem for people. When he's a little more timid, a little more passive, and people are able to get in on him, that's potentially where he's fallen short in the past. But offensively, when he's rolling and it's going downhill for him, that's a problem for people. He is a very technical, skilled, creative, powerful striker. So Carl Roberson's a good fighter. I rate him pretty highly. In fact, like this dude he jumped into the kickboxing world with very little experience and like achieved at a decently high level, like right away. I'm talking about Roberson. I respect that dude's stand up. when Khalil Roundtree found an opening, that was scary, quite frankly. Like that level of speed and power was scary.
Precision as well.
Yeah, as he alluded to with
Right.
the Connor reference.
Okay.
That's all I got.
That's it, huh? No Khalil Roundtree.
I mean, I would have, but I mean, it's getting a little bit stale to pick the guys and girls who are on the show every single time.
Yeah.
You're reading my mind. You've got your
No,
finger
I mean,
on the
it's
pulse,
like
whatever
the
we want to
obvious
call it. Yeah. But it's hard. I'm trying to mine. Look, I give you Tom Brady. I give you the gems like that.
That's right.
You can't criticize. You can't criticize me for not having the guy who was just on
The clock over here still says 3:30. It's
so
yeah, that's right. Thank you for that. I've been waiting
keep
for
going.
that.
Let's just
No, but I keep looking and I'm like, oh, it's only 3:30. This is great. But in reality, it's actually 4:30. London. You go to London?
No.
No.
But I will be anxiously awaiting that card. I am excited.
What are you most
You?
excited about? Am I going to London? No, I'm not.
What's the with all due respect to Patty's fight, which I think we all want to kind of see Patty back in there.
Yeah, but it's,
I'm really excited about Aspinall and Volkov. I believe Aspinall is the next guy. I really do at heavyweight. And I want to see, and I think Volkov is that measuring stick. I think Volkov is very much the guy who can either derail this or put him on that next level. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm a big believer in Tom Aspinall. I think that guy is the truth. So I want to find out if I'm right or wrong. And I think a lot of people are like that. I know Bisping, on the show said that. So yeah, I want to see it.
shout out to Michael Bisping for doing the Lord's work.
Yes.
Promoting the sport of mixed martial arts. But yes, I agree with that. I love the Hangman Arnold Allen fight.
Two of your favorites right there.
Two my absolute favorites. I mean, Gunnar Nelson fighting again is like, what? Like I keep having to remind myself that this is actually happening.
He's back.
Because the last time we saw him was what, 3 years ago? When was the last time we saw him? No, it was it was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, 3 years in September. 3 years in September was the last time.
Yeah.
That's insane. Paul Craig is always fun. And Jack Shore versus Timur Valiev is a gigantic one. Ollie McCann. Mohamed Mokaev, I mean, that's a huge, I mean, this is a big-time debut. We've been talking about him forever. Corey McKenna, great character. Faber loves her. Nathaniel Wood, Jai Herbert against Ilya Topuria. That's a great fight.
That. Yeah. Ilya's a big favorite, but I like that fight a lot.
1 p.m. Eastern, it begins. And by the way, for the next 2 weeks, I know this because of the whole clock thing, UK is only 4 hours ahead. They're usually 5 hours ahead, but they're 4 hours until they change their clocks, I think, in 2 weeks. So for anyone wondering.
PSA.
I don't know how that would affect you. I mean, it's the time wherever you are, but like, just so you know, for now, it's 4. I made the mistake with Dan Hooker because I booked him at 7 UK time thinking it's 2 o'clock. And then I realized, oh man, I told him the wrong time. 7 is actually 3. Worked out because we got more time with Khalil.
Yes.
Would have worked out perfectly. More time with Khalil. Right up to Paige, go to Paige, but it didn't work out. It didn't work out as I was planning. I was looking at the clock. I was like, oh, this is going to work out perfectly.
Hope she feels better.
Yeah, hope she feels better. There was something, I had some sort of bone to pick with, wasn't there something with you? Oh, yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah. See, in my mind, I was like, bone to pick. Shall we address the elephant in the room?
I'm not aware what you're referring to, but if you have something, please.
GC, do you want to handle this or should I handle it?
Yeah, you can handle it. I don't think there's much to handle.
I mean, it came out Saturday after months of sitting next to each other, working together, that like you weren't following.
Oh no! See, I get why you said you had a bone, but it was a misunderstanding. You see,
here he comes with these insane, outlandish conspiracy theories.
Thank you, GC.
Wait. For those out there, what you're referring to, I believe, is that it appeared it appeared as if I had only followed Connor GC, this wonderful man sitting to my right, on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Could we get a split screen, or is it too hard to do that? No, okay. I just wanted to see both.
Connor, why don't you slide in over here?
I just want to know if he's believing this story.
No,
okay.
Well, I mean, not to let people in, but maybe maybe we've discussed it. Maybe we haven't. Maybe
no. I would have hoped you didn't discuss it. It's better to discuss it fresh and live on the show.
These are the first words I've said to him the entire.
Oh, here we go. Yes.
There we go.
This is good. Way to go, Yoon.
There wasn't anything to discuss because as I'll lay out the case here, it's very understandable what kind of happened.
I wish I had popcorn right now.
It appeared as if I only followed Connor on Saturday. Now, it went in actuality. What really happened? If you're somebody who uses Twitter a lot, like myself, my job is in social media, you'll know that every once in a while there's a bit of a purge. People who you've previously followed get unfollowed. It happens. It's very rare, but it happens. You might not notice until you look at somebody's profile or say, hey, why haven't I seen this person's tweet in a while? I have followed Connor previously, but on Saturday, I was looking for Connor's picks, the best picks in the business, the ones you want to look for. And I saw, hey, wait a minute. I've unfollowed Connor. I can't believe this. I must rectify the situation immediately. So that's what I did. I pressed follow. Unbeknownst to me, Connor would also be under the impression that I hadn't been following him previously. At which point he aired me out on Twitter. He made a whole post about it.
Yeah, no. So wait, just a timeout. Did you?
Rick had started following me. Yeah, I mean it was a slap.
How did you feel? How did you feel?
I mean, do you hear these conspiracy things?
He's just talking in circles.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
I think
Ariel has never, unfollowed me.
No.
Mysterious Frank,
never. Never heard of this purge. What is this purge that he's talking about?
Unfollow bugs. I don't know. I don't know who uses these.
I mean, here's the God's honest truth.
Now wait.
This is all we've wanted the entire time.
Yeah. So what? The last 10 minutes?
It's an addition to it. It's an addendum. You can choose to believe me or not. Truth be told, that follow from me is significant. It means something. And I appreciate that your feelings were hurt by me not following you. Don't worry, I'm a day one. I've been following. From that first tweet I sent Connor saying, great job. I love this betting segment. Even before we were sitting shoulder to shoulder. Big fan of Connor.
Is this accurate?
Wouldn't have a bad word to say about him. Followed him then. Again, Twitter.
Right, the unfollow bug hit.
It's a glitch that happens.
So do you remember, Connor, the first time he followed you? Like,
no.
Can you confirm? You don't even remember? Wow, okay.
I think I'd remember that, too.
Yeah, that's
He's
the
got
thing.
the check mark. It stands out a little bit.
It stands out.
Hey, you know what?
I want to believe what he's saying right now. I really do.
I'll have my character assassinated because I love Connor that much.
Listen,
he's that much of my friend.
He comes on the air saying all this. He seems like a great guy, but behind the scenes, I'm gonna break down.
Yeah,
I'm gonna break down the fourth wall here.
Oh, this is great.
Alex goes the famous snack place. He brings back 2 teas, 1 green, 1 jasmine.
Yeah,
he gives me the green as I requested. He gives Rick the jasmine. And just with no asking, no nothing, Rick swipes the green and gives me the jasmine.
He's a real life heel.
He's succumbed to bullying at this point. I mean, this is
a real heel.
It's workplace, bullying.
ESPN changed them.
There's this glitch with the teas, right?
This guy.
We
live in the Matrix.
There's this bug with the teas where. No, that one was just a little bit of hope you don't miss it. I really want this.
It was this third green tea of the day. How much green tea can one guy drink?
I am drinking a lot of green tea back here. I've taken quite a few bathroom breaks. But to get serious for a second, no.
Okay.
Only love for Connor.
I don't know if I believe that. If I'm being honest,
you don't have to. I'll be honest. I don't
believe
care.
it, Connor.
I don't care either
All
way.
Right. I'm gonna take the higher road and believe him here. I'm not going to stoop down to his conspiracy theory level because he did follow me back on Instagram,
Right away.
Followed you back. Oh, right away? I thought you meant on Saturday too.
No. See,
I don't think
Instagram doesn't have that bug. Instagram doesn't have that bug. It's a known bug. You can look it up. If you look it up and find out that I'm telling the truth, good on you.
How could I find out that you're telling the truth? I'm going to Google, did New York Rick unfollow?
No, you can look up that this is a known issue, or you can not.
And what is it? What is the issue?
I don't think the question is if he unfollowed me.
I'll tell you.
I don't think he ever did.
I'll tell you. Well.
Okay, now that's a fascinating thing. So I was going to ask you if you think you can recall an issue that led to the unfollow. You just don't think he ever bothered to follow you to begin with.
Correct.
Well, isn't that the whole thing?
No, I thought maybe that you unfollowed him out of spite.
Oh, if that was the real case.
No, come on.
I think that would hurt more.
That's
honestly.
silly. That's
It's
What?
probably
What?
more like-
Maybe you were, I don't know, you were starting to feel like, you didn't like him. You didn't like his
No.
work on the show.
Listen, again, I'll say it again. Believe me, don't believe me. Doesn't change my day. It's still Monday
he doesn't even
afternoon.
care. He
I'm
doesn't
still
even
here. I don't care. Believe me or
never
not.
even bothered
Mr.
to
Monday
follow.
afternoon is here. I'll tell you. So you asked about the actual breakdown of it. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is enthralling for the listeners. The
I'm loving
reason
it.
I know about this is because, as I was saying, my job, my living is made on social media. What will happen a lot of the time at my previous job, and sometimes I'll notice it at this job as well, we follow a lot of fighters. Yes? Like that's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, there's somebody who we know we're following for years at that point. And every once in a while we notice, they've been unfollowed and refollow. So I've seen this in action quite a few times. It happens. And that's how I know. So one of the things I was thinking was like, I want to look up Conor's picks this Saturday morning. I forget when it was. I was like, hey, I haven't seen his tweets on my timeline in quite a while. Looked at it, noticed he was unfollowed and followed him right back. So that's the situation. Believe or don't believe, either way, I will ride for Conor until the wheels fall off. He's my guy.
This is good.
I'm reading an article right now. Losing followers, Twitter hit by unfollow bug.
It happens.
Wow. It's a real thing.
My question is, who's going to stab who in the back first? Will it be Till stabbing Khamzat stabbing Till, or is it going to be...
Wait, so
New York
first
Rick?
of all, who's Hamza? Oh, you're saying between the pair? Between the
Yeah.
pairs?
Or is it you?
I think we'll outlast Hamzat and Darren, if I had to guess.
I wonder who's going to stab who. Someone's going to stab someone in the back in that pairing. But is it going to be Khamzat securing his place as the ultimate heel,
gonna be
stabbing the... Till's gonna stab Khamzat, and Khamzat's gonna be the babyface.
Yeah, because Hamzat doesn't need Till in this scenario, right? Hamzat's just going to keep climbing. It only gets spicy because Till is going to need at some point to stab Hamzat to kind of get that rub and make that happen. The same way, look, Jorge was the bigger star, right? Jorge didn't need Colby Covington. He could just keep going. At a certain point, it behooved Colby Covington to make that turn on Jorge when Jorge became the biggest fight for him. It will be Till, if anybody. I'm not trying to cast aspersions on Darren Till.
Sure.
But look, I mean, I love this 2-box. We could just keep this going.
I like this.
Do this forever.
We could combine the segments. Do like a remix. By the way, final word on this from Lewis, our good friend Lewis Gilmore. No revision. New York Rick sticking with the dog ate my followers line. I mean, unbelievable.
But again, to Lewis and all the other jabrones out there, all the other uninformed peons, believe or believe or don't believe, it really doesn't matter to the Monday Afternoon Messiah. It really doesn't. You don't matter to steal a line from.
Yeah, I think we figured it out.
Yeah, the people know
we figured it out.
Anybody that refers themselves as the Monday Afternoon Messiah.
I mean,
I might turn today. It might not even take that long. I might
listen.
turn today.
On Saturday, I thought the biggest news story in terms of like Twitter and this crazy sport was Conor finally acknowledging Jake Paul on Twitter, and then by Saturday night, the biggest story was this.
Sure
you
enough,
not following. You not following, unfollowing, still not quite sure, but
you know,
tried to slide it by.
Pick one. No, see, if I tried to slide it by, this is the thing. This is where all of it falls apart, and you guys are not thinking at the level that you need to be thinking. If I was concerned about that, why would I follow? I would just stay unfollowed.
No, you can't do that.
I would not alert. I would not alert somebody if I was trying to avoid detection, obviously. So you guys are down here playing checkers. You guys are down here.
You just gotta.
I'm up here.
You gotta follow and just hope for the best. You gotta refollow and hope for the best.
Maybe
he
you
snuck it in.
Maybe
he snuck
you.
it in. He
snuck it in. Saturday, fights going on, too much action, a lot of tweets.
Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean, this shows the levels to the game.
I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing. Now that I think about it,
Yeah,
I 100% believe that it happened. I'm just wondering if it's did he not follow at all initially, or was there a following, unfollowing, refollow? That's the part I can't quite.
the world may never know.
Again, pick one. Decide for yourself. Choose it. Live your.
I haven't figured it out yet.
live your reality. Neither of those two incorrect outcomes matters much.
We proceed
this
with
guy.
caution around Mr. Monday afternoon
Right.
from now
Yeah.
on.
The Messiah.
The control rooms
The
are
Monday
much
afternoon
less,
Messiah has laid
control
it all
rooms
out
are a
for you.
little bit, we trust people more on Wednesdays. Later in the
Considerably
week.
different vibe, right?
I mean,
You don't
Let your hair
you don't
down.
get
we don't,
this.
we don't even want to end.
You don't get this on Wednesdays.
No.
We need to make sure his card doesn't work on Wednesdays.
Right. Like that video, the dude from the
The
Jets.
Jets, yeah, showing up. Great.
Who's that
great video.
guy? I forget.
Jamal Adams.
Is it Jamal Adams?
I think it is. Yeah,
When the card doesn't work?
fantastic.
Well, I'm glad we sort of cleared this up. I don't know if we've actually cleared up anything, but I'm glad that we at least addressed it. There was something on my mind. I was like, I'm forgetting to mention something. And then thank God I remembered at the last second. So
We would have been sunk without it.
yeah. All right, gents. This is nice. I just want to like revel in this 2-shot. This is a nice thing right here.
We did this 2-shot for the
I know.
award show.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
Nothing new.
I know, but it's been like 3 months since then.
Yeah.
2
You got
months.
rid of the strand on the computer.
Got rid of the
I know
strand.
the listeners are happy.
Yeah. Could we get a shot of the computer here? I cut it and I added the flag of Ukraine, Slava Ukraine, to everyone out there. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Much love. Appreciate you. And thank you to all the fans. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. But it's time to go. I've had enough of all of you. It's only 3:51. It's super early.